Traveler, Paimon, please let me be your partner for the final round of... I'd like your assistance with this investigation, since you two are the only one...
That's fine with Paimon. What do you think, Traveler?
I have a few theories, but we don't have enough leads yet. There are some places I'd like to investigate first, so you two can accompany me.
Sure. Where would you like to start?
I want to go back to where we first met up. According to your accounts, you encountered the ghost there and passed out. I believe there may still be some
Do we really have to go there?
Are you worried that she'll be waiting for us? My worry is that we won't be able to find her. Honestly, it'd save me a lot of trouble if
Wow, Hazel.
The more cases you see, the less of... This should be approximately where you first encountered the ghost. Of course, we cannot conclude whether the woman is... But I'd like to go over everything that happened again.
Let Paimon think. She warned us not to go near her, and she said if we didn't leave, our souls would become trapped. Ooh, Paimon doesn't want to remember that moment.
And then what happened?
Then, everything seemed to get darker, and Paimon started to feel dizzy. Paimon saw some sort of black mist surrounding the ghost, and then Paimon passed out.
Вот то не мыло сколько, от нее вокруг нее уже черная аура летает, что все, если рядом кто-то окажется, то просто, блядь, такой ёбаный рот и в обморок падает. Нахрен. Мыться надо чаще.
Based on your account...
Exactly! So are you convinced it was a ghost now?
Так это что, надо, получается, этого звать? Как его? А как его зовут? А я забыл. Бля, только что ж помнил. Только что ж помнил, блин. Как его... Кто у нас там этот? Экзорцист беловолосый. Мелочь, обожающая мороженку. Как его зовут? Хуй с ним, ладно.
It's possible, but I'm more interested in what she's actually trying to achieve than what she is.
Чунь-юнь, по-моему, или нет? Не знаю.
Even if she is a ghost, as long as she possesses some sense...
Wasn't she after our soul?
I think she was just trying to scare you.
Oh.
Think about it. If I had the ability to take your souls, then why go to the trouble? Besides, a ghost wouldn't have allowed you to walk away knowing about the secret of its...
That does make sense. Huh. Why didn't Paimon think of that?
Потому что Пайман не умеет думать.
I believe there are only two possibilities. The first is that she wanted to reap your souls, but there was some condition that had to be met. You know, like what we usually call a curse. But if you had really been cursed, then you would probably have noticed it by now. So, this is the less likely scenario. I believe she was just trying to scare you away.
But why would she want to scare us away? Maybe she was trying to get us to quit so she could claim the Test of Courage prizes. Oh! Probably not. So why does she want to scare us? Do you have any...
Based solely on your account, I don't believe she actually meant any harm. But this evidence alone is insufficient to make any valid assumptions. She could very well be guarding some trick, though my intuition is telling me that neither of these hypotheses are correct. Have you found any leads yet?
Yeah, some tree branches seem like they were bent by something, but that's about it.
I see. After you left, I took a good look around the area. Aside from the bent branches, there are burn marks in some places, but that doesn't really tell us much. If only there was some more conclusive evidence.
Excuse me. Sorry to interrupt.
Oh, it's you guys! What are you all doing?
We heard you were out searching for clues, and we wanted to help.
Oh, that's really brave of you.
Actually, we're also really unsure about we just asked the members of Mr. Ito's gang about what happened to them. And it sounded that lady is either a nasty evil spirit or a formidable yokai. Either way, but we still want to hold the Mikawa flower.
We long admired the friendship between Lord Kamai and the samurai, which is why we want to hold the Mikawa Flower Festival, to return the favor we once received from the... Even though our powers are limited, we don't want this bond of friendship to vanish. The Mikawa Flower Festival is meant...
The Chinju Forest covers a large area, so it'd be great to have more help in the investigation. Welcome to the team. Let's all do our best to figure out what's going on.
Don't worry, we're very familiar with the area. Look what I found down by the river! Huh? What is it?
Is it a scrap of black cloth?
Shade cloth?
Yeah, it can effectively block out light and is used in a variety of settings, including stage performances. There's a rough tear in the cloth, probably caused by a sharp stone, or maybe some branches.
Branches?
Suppose that a large shade cloth was originally hung. When the shade cloth was removed from the tree, perhaps one of the... Either she didn't care, or she was in too great a hurry.
But why would she hang shade cloth in the trees?
I'm only speculating. Maybe she used it to create the atmosphere you experienced. Let's not worry about that for now. There's still many variables. Next, I'd like to investigate the place where...
Oh, I know the way. I asked the gang members where their encounter...
Good. Please, let's go find out what's going...
This is the place. They claimed that as they passed through here, the area suddenly grew dark, and some
Huh. We saw the very same thing!
Let's start by taking a look around the area, just as we did before.
I found some sort of... The inside of it looks like it was...
Judging from the burn marks left on the scene, the ghostly flames you saw were not created by yokai power. Rather, they appear to have been caused by something...
There's some strange powder in the... I picked some up and sniffed it to see what it is.
Similar scare tactics. I believe we're closing in on the... I'm almost certain that the woman you encountered was... She possesses no extraordinary powers. She was merely scaring people with some...
Some small prop?
First and foremost, the test of courage contributed to the unsettling atmosphere here. You were initially frightened because you were already tensed up. You were breathing more rapidly and inhaled a lot of sleeping powder that she had sprinkled around the area. That is what caused you to feel dizzy. That's when she pulled down...
So, it was all just a show?
She tricked us!
There is, however, still one loose end. The person who commissioned my investigation did become stranded on the beach as a result of some unusual power. That couldn't have been accomplished by just a few small props. But if she...
Oh, Paimon can't wrap her head.
She can only use props to scare people in the forest, but...
Whoa, that was fast.
If we rule out the potential of organized crime, I know who the woman is. Let's go to the...
We'll come.
No. You should go back and tell the others not to be afraid and not waste their time searching the forest. The truth has surfaced. It's time to put...
Okay, but if you run into any danger...
There shouldn't be any danger now. Let's search along the cliffside. If I'm not mistaken, there should be a chunk of earth that's unlike the others.
I knew it. I knew that you would come find me here.
There she is. Paimon thought you were a yokai like the others, but they said they never seen you before. So, who are you? And why did you try to scare us?
I have already warned you never to speak to me. If you don't leave now, then...
She's terrifying! Hazel, it sure doesn't seem like she's using any props.
Don't move. Just trust me. Your yokai power won't scare us. It will only hasten your demise.
Yokai power?
Huh? How did you know?
You're a yokai that emerged from an object and assumed a human form outside of your own body. When this type of yokai is close to its own body, it can use some yokai power, but that ability weakens as it moves further away. And if the original body is destroyed, then the yokai that originated from it will likewise perish. Should I refer to you as a Hagoita spirit or Tsukumogami?
Don't bother. You may call me Hanyuda Chizuru.
Chizuru, why do you want us to leave? If you're a yokai, you should understand why the other yokai want to interact. Besides, we had a great time playing Akitsu Yugen together, didn't we? Just like the story of Kamai and the Sim.
Yes. That's why. That's why I don't want you to be sad too.
Sad? What do you mean?
I'm sure the yokai have already told you of the story, but they don't actually know the entire... The samurai was about 25 years old when they met at the festival. They met again 10 years later and remained friends. They spent time together drinking, traveling, and sparring. When they had first met, they merely respected each other, but 10 years later, they became best friends. After another decade, the samurai had reached the pinnacle of his swordsmanship and won their duel by a narrow margin. Kamai was so astonished by his defeat, he gave up drinking and began training to become stronger for their next duel. However, another 10 years later, Kamai did not meet the samurai. As it turned out, war had broken out in the south, and the samurai had gone to defend the border. Kamai was unconcerned, because 10 years was nothing in a yokai's lifetime. But when they met once again, Kamai discovered that the samurai was already 65 years old. He couldn't believe his eyes when he saw the samurai's gray hair and scars covering his body.
Hey, old friend. Can you still wield the sword?
I'm getting too old to fight. This time, I've come to say goodbye.
I see. Then, how about one last game of Akitsu Hazara?
The samurai gave his best effort during the game, but had to quit halfway through because he was too weak. After putting down his agoita, Kamai remained silent for a long time before letting out a long sigh.
What a shame.
Their friendship started as something they looked forward to, and in just a few decades it turned into regret. Lord Kamai's appearance hadn't changed, but his dear friend in front of him had grown old. The people often say that those outside the situation can see things more clearly, and I learned a harsh truth after witnessing all of it. Everything that people come to regret is inevitably set in motion from the beginning.
Ты втираешь мне какую-то дичь. И причем тут, чтобы вы тоже страдали. От чего? От неразделенной дружбы с тобой? Мы не так хорошо знакомы, чтоб я из-за этого страдал. Камон.
We yokai are different from humans. We have longer lifespans and different natures, but we share the same world. We interact with one another. We are drawn to one another, and will eventually part ways.
И чё? Это как бы... Ну, это как бы нормально. Люди приходят и уходят. Пути пересекаются, расходятся, сходятся. Тут как бы нет ничего такого.
When the dream ends, all that is left are sorrowful memories and lingering pain.
Да нет. Вообще, это от этого всего остаются хорошие воспоминания от хорошо проведенного времени. А грусть и печаль появляется от того, что это время прошло.
Even a wise and seasoned yokai like Kamai felt sadness when it was time to say goodbye. Imagine what a pure and kind little yokai would feel.
Пусть привыкают.
Oh.
So,
I was hiding on this beach, but those 3 yokai came, and I didn't want them to approach humans with unbridled optimism and enthusiasm just because they'd heard the legend of
is that why you pretended to be a ghost? To scare all the people away from... Oh, so you must be the one who trapped that guy on the beach. That was a little bit harsh, don't you...
My power has become pretty weak now, and most of the time I just use some props I've collected to scare people. But that jerk was greedy. He wanted to steal the decorations from Akitsu and sell them for a profit. That's why I used my yokai power.
Ah, so that's what happened. By the way, how did you know the rest of the story about
It's okay if you don't want to tell us. I've already figured it out. Your true form is this pair of Hagoita, isn't it?
Да. Я хотел это сказать, но я не знал, как эти штуки называются.
Hagoita?
The pair of Hagoita used by Kamai and the human samurai to play Akitsu Hazura hundreds of years ago. You gradually developed sentience after being influenced by great yokai power. You were the closest to witness their story. Even with the yokai power's blessing, the Hagoita have started to rot away after hundreds of years. You can't sustain yourself, so you were forced to rely on props to scare... And if my theory is correct, this pair of Hagoita is also the item...
Excellent work. You figured it all out.
А вот и Мика.
Congratulations, little ones. You've passed the 3rd round of the...
Miko? And the Shrine Maiden? Paimon thought you went missing.
С чего ты вообще взяла, что она пропала? Она просто ушла. Она что там должна столько дней сидеть, что ли? Постоянно сидеть на одном и том же месте, ждать, пока там кто-то придет, не придет, уйдет, нахуй оно ей надо.
I apologize for causing you concern. Well, what did you think? Were
Вообще
you
нет.
scared?
Вообще нет. Даже не близко.
Because fear is
Это
induced by
какая-то дичь.
uncertainty, the more chaotic the situation, the better. Having the event staff also mysteriously vanish only added...
So you're the one responsible.
Hitomi, go tell the others that the test of...
Now that I've solved the mystery, I'm going back to meet with my client. The intent to... I'll see you two later.
Miko, did you choose the Hagoita for the 3rd round of the test of courage because you already knew about Chizuru?
Miko, Lady Yae, you're...
I followed Kitsune Saigu around the Mikawa Flower Festival one year and saw her play Akitsu Hazura. That was when I saw you. You didn't have a human form at the time and possessed only the earliest traces of sentience.
I remember now. You were on Kitsune Saigu's shoulder.
I went for a stroll on the beach some time ago and sensed a familiar yokai power. Though your power was weak, I was still able to find you. You were sitting in a tree. I overheard you telling yourself that you must be patient and avoid contact with humans.
Huh? When was that? I didn't notice you.
With your powers being so diminished, it was only natural that you didn't notice. You must have been blaming yourself all this time. You knew Kamai and the samurai became friends as a result of Akitsu Hazura.
At the time, I couldn't take on a human form like this. After they first met at the Mikawa Flower Festival, I felt proud to know, but after they said their final goodbyes, I could often hear Kamai sighing to himself. I couldn't help but hide, because I blamed myself. Lady Yae, you are a well-known yokai. You must know many more things than people meet, become friends, and then go their separate ways. After such a short time, is it really worthwhile for us yokai to interact with humans?
Но закрыться от всего мира и вообще ни с кем не общаться, не дружить, и это хуёвая затея. Ты так долго не протянешь. Даже если ты, бля, интроверт, социофоб и так далее. Все равно.
Why not? Tell me, how did you feel when you played Akitsu?
I felt happy.
But your rationality told you that it was wrong, didn't it? It turns out that there is still another piece to this.
What do you mean? The samurai and Kamai never met again.
True, but the story doesn't end there. That samurai's name was Yanagibashi Takuto, who also happens to be the founder of the Soran Ishin art. It is believed that Takuto developed this style of swordsmanship while dueling with Kamai, who had also befriended the 3rd-generation heir of the Soran Ishin art, Tominaga Masanari. 500 years ago, Kamai and Tominaga fought side by side until their final moments, and the sword Tominaga wielded was passed down from Yanagibashi. The regret Kamai once felt had...
Oh.
We yokai are not like humans. Humans have too short a lifespan, and the day will inevitably come when we must say goodbye. However, the bond formed by friendship will not be broken, but rather carried on in a new... There's no reason to be upset by this. Time flies by in an instant, and life passes by like a dream.
Hey, compadres!
Ito, what are you doing here?
Hitomi told me everything. And I also heard that I even know who the ghost lady is now. Anyway, I had a little discussion with the others, and, Hey, you're that fox lady. Why are you here?
Please just disregard my presence. Now, tell us what you discussed.
Ah, right. All right, listen up. To celebrate the end of the Test of Courage event, we will be holding the Mikawa Flower Festival. I gave it some real thought and realized that it might be kind of difficult for those little yokai to hold the festival on their own. But with my help, it won't be a problem. That's right. Arataki, the one and only Ito, will be in charge of organizing the best Mikawa Flower Festival anyone's ever seen.
Hooray for Ito!
Oh.
Can we really trust this guy with the festival?
Пофиг, пусть развлекается.
Hey, what you trying to say? Besides, it won't just be me. Other people will help too. Even my bro Ayato is gonna be there. Everyone's busy getting ready, and the festival will be up and running in no time.
You're the best, Ito!
And
Добавились
what would a
флажки.
festival be without me? I'll be sure to go have a look too. It has been some time since I've attended a festival. Fortunately, I brought sake with me.
О, поделишься?
Paimon's gotta admit, Ito does have his mom. A festival, delicious food. Count Paimon in!
All right, I'll join.
Looks like the festival has started! Let's go check it out!
Короче, посыл, конечно, ясен и понятен, да, и смысл этого всего. Но, блядь, какая же хуйня. Ну, типа, из этого можно было бы сделать нормальную историю, но не в рамках короткого ивента с сомнительными йокаями, которые, блядь, просто модельки детей с масками. И такой банальной херней. Как, бля, я не знаю, мне что-то прям вообще с этими, блядь, пугалками, которые не пугают, блядь, оно даже на этапе концепта, нахуй, ничем напугать не способно. Если только, не знаю, может, маленького ребенка. Хотя, блядь, даже он не испугается. Здесь пугаться нечего. Это Геншин, блядь. Здесь страшного, нахуй, ничего нету. Я не знаю. Не, тут есть, конечно, такие сильные, прикольные моменты. Где-то там в основном сюжете, еще где-то, но не, блядь, в ивентах. Короче. Я бы сказал, что ивент крайне разочаровывающий. И тупой.
Ito and Goro! What are you two talking about?
Oh, I was just saying that if I had more time, I'd have built a massive fishing pond here.
Ну, хотя ладно, если в целом воспринимать это как коротенький ивент, где-то там пришел, прошел и забыл, то в целом хуй с ним пойдет.
Fishing.
Take it from an expert, using your hands to catch. Just the other day,
That's an unusual problem to have.
Huh? A big fish? How come you didn't tell us? Paimon could have helped you eat it!
Huh? You wrote a letter to Yai Publishing House?
Oh, you bet I did. I wrote to the That's Life column and asked Miss Hina for advice. Ah, she's so amazing. She got back to me really quickly, too.
Huh. What a coincidence. I do some part-time work there, and I recently received a similar letter.
You mean the letter was about dealing with a giant fish they caught? No. Could it be? Could it be that there's someone as good at fishing as I am? Oh, not on my watch. Hey, you all go enjoy the festival. I'm gonna get out there and catch an even bigger fish. Just you wait. I'll be inviting you all to my fish feast.
Aw, the string snapped. Yoimiya, this is more difficult than it looks. Can you really fish out these water balloons with a
Don't worry. Let me show you a little trick. Just remember that your hand has to be quick.
Yo-Yo Tsuri! Paimon see this game in some light novel.
Do you want to give it a shot? Close one eye, aim carefully, and fish it.
Oh, it looks kinda tricky. Paimon will let the traveler try. You have to catch at least 3 water balloons since there's 3 of us.
But Yoimiya, if I close one eye, I won't be able to see anything.
This ramen is so good.
Yes, it feels like it's been ages since...
You mean you don't get to eat ramen very often, Ayaka? But it's so delicious!
Согласен, рамен охуенная штука.
Oh, it's you. We'll need 2 more bowls of ramen, please. Food like ramen and hot pot tend to have a lot of oil and salt, so I don't get to eat them very often.
Вопрос, у кого ты заказала рамен, там же ж никого нет.
Oh.
Yeah, now Paimon totally gets why Ayaka would put cake into hot pot.
Huh? Oh, please, no need to bring that up again.
Phew, I'm stuffed and feeling a little...
By the way, were there any special stalls at yokai festivals in the past?
Yes, but... well, it's a long story.
Paimon can't believe you couldn't get a single water balloon. Chizuru managed to finally get one and gave it to Hitotsume Kozo.
He looked like he really wanted it.
But Paimon wanted one too.
All right, then I'll catch one for you next time.
Yay!
Come on now, this is way more expensive than usual. Even if it is a festival, you shouldn't hike up the prices this much.
Hey now, it costs money to run a stall. I need to raise my prices to help cover the expenses, you know?
Fair enough. How about 5 masks for 30% off? Final offer.
All right, all right.
It's so hot. Feels like I'm being roasted here.
Don't get too close. It's better to keep a...
I know. It's just so rare to see such a nice bonfire.
There are many beautiful things in the world. There's no need to be anxious.
I was surprised that you didn't even tell your sister. It seems she was quite frightened, too.
It would have been uninteresting had I told her what was going to happen ahead of time. Besides, with her friends by her side, she wouldn't ever be too scared. Having a little fright is good to release any tension she might have accumulated late.
Everything went according to plan. People started to panic as soon as they sensed that they had no idea what was happening. How amusing.
Hey, you two, stop laughing! It was scary!
Have you finished exploring the festival? Well then.
Yeah,
The original Mikawa Flower Festival was much more lively. But even if you could attend the original, you probably... because it's always more fun to enjoy a festival.
Yes.
Well then, I'm guessing you have something you want to say to her alone. We'll leave...
What did you want to say to us?
Ah, you saw through me again. I can't help but feel you somehow...
It's not that I know everything. It's just that I've been in your position before.
Traveler, do you have a moment? I'd like to talk to you.
Опять 2 я и Мико.
All right, here will do. Thank you for... Actually, I was delighted when I first discovered that I could take on a human form. I was a yokai derived from a pair of Hagoita who came into being in the middle of a festival. So naturally, I enjoyed the lively festival atmosphere. I wanted to go to more festivals, become friends with humans, and play Akitsu Yugen with them. But every evening, as night began to set in, I'd recall the bitter smile of the old samurai as he set down the Hagoita, and the lonely Kamai sighing as he drank his sake. Then I would wonder, if I became friends with a human, would that person experience the same melancholy in the future? As a result, I was convinced that I couldn't do it. I told myself I would not repeat that same I'm sorry that I spoke so strangely when we first met. I'm sure it must have scared you.
Вообще нет.
I expected you to flee in terror. But when we met again, you acted like you had no trouble being around. I knew you mistook me as one of the yokai. But instead of telling you the truth, I went and played Akitsu Yugen with you. I'm not completely sure myself. Perhaps it's because I've always wanted to be like Kamai and play Akitsu Yugen with you. Or perhaps it was because I knew I didn't have much time left, and I didn't want to be alone. Anyway, thank you for taking the time to play with me. When we played Akitsu Yugen, Paimon said the loser would have to grant the winner a wish. At the time, I wished, however, you still came and found me. Meaning, you never granted my wish. Let me think. I wish for you to remember me. Okay. I wish that every day of your journey ahead will be filled with joy, like a festival.
Ну вот, а говоришь, человеческий век короток. Ты исчезла раньше меня.
When Ayato approached me about holding the Test of Courage event, Kamai and the Samurai's parting was one of the first things she experienced when she was partial. This was a very traumatic. The best option for her was to directly interact.
Так, ну все получается. Осталось проходить вот эти вот испытания, подземелья, что это, преодоление. Ну и все. В целом, по продолжительности меня все устраивает, но вот по качеству сюжета мне что-то как-то хуйня. Смысл, конечно, ясен, но херня. Из этого можно было бы выжать гораздо больше. Ну да ладно, фиг с ним. Прошли, забыли и ладно. Сама вот эта анимированная история получилась вполне себе интересной, прикольной и по времени вполне раскрывающейся. Ну, передающий смысл. А это, конечно, смысл ясен, но, блин, оно и слишком короткое, и слишком тупое. Ладно. На этом тогда будем заканчивать. Заданий, я не знаю, вроде никаких больше нет. Это призыв семерых. Это вообще другое. В общем, на этом все. Всем спасибо за просмотр. Подписывайтесь, ставьте лайки, комментируйте. И всем удачи, всем пока. До новых встреч.